On the news tonight, INEC mobilizes national institutions against illicit flow of funds. Federal government recovers $1 billion looted funds. Governor Oyetola calls for sustenance of peace mantra of Osun. 10 soldiers die in Chadian attack. Good evening and welcome to the Major Report. Babatunde Bolatito is my name. Chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, has disclosed plans to mobilize relevant national institutions saddled with the responsibility of tracking and combating the illicit flow of funds before, during, and after the 2023 general elections. Professor Yakubu gave the assurance during the National Stakeholders Forum on the 2023 general election held at this instance of the Nigerian Civil Society Situation Room supported by the UK Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office, while the CSOS and other stakeholders expressed grave concern over conduct of election amid security and economic challenges. Speaking at the occasion, preparation for the 2023 general election, Professor Yakubu described the repeal and reenactment of the Electoral Act 2010 as amended into the Electoral Act 2022 as the most progressive legislation in the history of elections in Nigeria. INEC chairman will disclose that general election is just 93 days away, affirmed that the commission has made tremendous progress in production and delivery of critical sensitive and non-sensitive election materials to respective state offices, while recruitment and training of ad hoc staff for the election are ongoing. The federal government has urged Nigerians to exercise patience over the state of electricity supply in the country, stressing that time is required for the ongoing project to translate to improvement in power supply across homes and industry. Minister of Power Abubakar Aliyu said this when inspecting some projects around Federal Capital Territory. He added that insecurity, port-related challenges, and flooding were affecting the completion of some ongoing electricity projects in the country, as $2.3 billion Siemens Nigeria power deal remained on track. Abubakar Aliyu disclosed that while some transformers from the Siemens deal are being cleared at the port and will be installed in the coming days, a team of Nigerian engineers will be traveling abroad in the next 17 days for factories testing of some of the next transformers that will be shipped to Nigeria. It disclosed that so far, Nigeria has conducted factory acceptance tests in Germany, France, and Italy, adding that some of the transformers are on sea. There are clearance issues as well as flooding, which affected dispatch to necessary locations. He said 3 of the mobile substations have been tested and will arrive in January next year. The federal government says it has recovered about $1 billion since inception of the President Muhammadu Buhari administration in 2015. Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami, made a disclosure while briefing reporters on outcome of the Federal Executive Council meeting presided over by President Buhari at the Presidential Villa, Abuja. Malami disclosed that the recovered assets have been deployed to various sectors of the economy, including government poverty alleviation schemes, further announced council approval of the new anti-corruption strategy document from 2022 to 2026, aimed at boosting fight against graft in the country. The Attorney General of the Federation said while government recorded only 109 convictions before 2015, the Buhari administration had convicted over 3,000 offenders, even as he expressed government concern over sundry cases of budget pageant, describing the development as worrisome. He noted, however, that measures will be explored to address the menace. You are welcome to our commercial segment.
A peak protein breakfast gets you to a great day. How do I know? Because my daddy goes through his work feeling good and always with a smile. Mommy is always filled with confidence. My sister is always in tune. And for me, learning new things becomes absolute fun. Because all day and every day, the pig goes on.
Start your day with a Pig Protein breakfast. Pig. Reach for your pig.
Ọ̀gbẹ́ni lálóde.
Jíde lásán ti lọ. Ọmọ kò ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ jẹ́ rechargeable fan níbi ìpolongo àjọyọ̀ ayọ̀ Glo ni o. Èèyàn mi ó ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ jẹ́ sewing machine látọwọ́ Glo ni. Ṣé fẹ́ máa gbọ́ṣẹ́ Glo?
Ẹ wo ẹ̀bùn ńlá tí mo jẹ lọ́wọ́ Glo.
Glo ló ṣe yìí o. Ẹ ṣe.
Èmi náà jẹ́ gbogbo oníjàmọ́lé. Oníjàmọ́lé ọ̀hún.
Ẹ káàbọ̀ sájọ̀dún Glo Festival of Joy. Tẹ star 611# láti darapọ̀ mọ́ wọn kó o sì kó nínú àwọn ẹ̀bùn yìí ní ti ayẹyẹ tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀kan nílé ayé ọmọ ẹ̀dẹ́yàn. Glo nìkan ló lè ṣe é.
Ọ̀gá landlord, ẹ̀yin náà wà bí gbẹ̀mí náà dé bẹ́ẹ̀. Ẹ̀yin náà lọ recharge Glo.
Ìfilọ́lẹ̀ Glo Festival of Joy.
Governor Adeboyega Oyetola has charged the leadership of the National Union of Road Transport Workers and the Road Transport Employers Association of Nigeria to key into the change and peace mantra of the state. Governor Oyetola gave the charge during the commissioning of 41 buses for commercial drivers and 6 waste disposal trucks in the state. Omotayo Adebodun now brings details.
The presentation of the 41 commercial buses in a partnership agreement between the state government and the Nigerian Union of Transport Workers and Road Transport Employers Association of Nigeria on a 2-year repayments plan. According to the Osun State government, the gesture is in fulfillment of the administration's promises to assist the transportation business in the state. Speaking at the commissioning, Governor Adeboyega Oyetola said the vehicles will benefit public transportations in the state and the waste disposal vehicles will also assist in keeping the state clean. Governor Oyetola, who spoke through the secretary to the state government, Prince Wole Oyebamiji, advised the beneficiaries to take advantage of the government's kind gesture to enhance the economy.
Today is another important milestone in the history of our administration. And as a result of this, we had to launch 41 buses for the road transport workers to ensure effective transportation system for the generality of our people. Mr. Governor believes strongly in the good health of his people. It is as a result of this that the vehicles that we inherited over 12 years old, we had no choice but to provide 6 new ones for the benefit of the people and for the healthy living of the generality of the people of this state.
Speaking with Osbc News, the Special Assistant to the Governor on Environment and Sanitation, Mr. Rufus Oyebile, lauded Governor Oyetola for his immense contribution to the cleanliness of the state and assured that the truck would be utilized.
Argon bought 3 to support cleanliness in the state. Then the state government bought 3, making 6 in all. With this and the old ones we have had, we know the issue of refuse collection will be a perfection.
The General Manager of Osun State Waste Management Agency, Mr. Fatai Oladoshu, commended Governor Oyetola and assured of the truck's maintenance.
We appreciate the state government, especially our Baba, the executive governor of the state, for providing this needed material for us. We have been on it since, and we promise that we are going to make judicious use of it.
In their separate interviews, the Treasurer of Nigerian Union of Road Transport Workers, NURTW, Comrade Showo Gabriel, and Secretary of the Road Transport Employers Association of Nigeria, RTEAN, Oba Oyeyemi Babatunde, said they will use the vehicles to generate more economic values for the people of the state. The event climaxed with the official handing over of the keys to the officials of the National Union of Road Transport Workers and other drivers. Omotayo Adebodun, Osbc News.
In a bid to guarantee a sustainable development for the society and continue to ensure a better life for residents, Governor Adeboyega Oyetola has launched the revised Osun State Development Plan 2023 to 2050. The State Development Plan is a strategic document comprising the state long-term aspiration as well as blueprint for the state with deliberate focus on improving delivery of goals and objectives. Speaking shortly after launching the document at the ESCO launch of Governor's Office, Mr. Oyetola expressed hope and belief that if the content of the development plan is properly implemented, the state will be better for it. He explained that the revised SDP 2023 to 2050 is a successful plan and an improvement on the contents of the previous state government development plan, while expressing joy concerning the richness in terms of stakeholders' participation and citizen engagement on the revised plan, saying that he's delighted no one is left behind. Governor Oyetola added that the revised state development plan 2023 to 2050 is not about any political party, but a plan for Osun to enhance the future development of the state. Osun State House of Assembly has expressed displeasure over the poor execution of Elisha Water Project by contractor and the consultants in charge. The House, in its plenary, then summoned the contractor handling the project and the consultants and the State Ministry of Water Resources to appear before it on Tuesday. Parliamentary reporter Oduwatosin Oladunkun now reports.
Speaking on the water project, Speaker of the House, Honorable Timothy Oye, said the summon became imperative for the interest of maintaining monumental progress and development currently enjoying in the state. This, he noted, called for engineer Mr. Kalitu and contractors handling transmission, environmental and plant of the ongoing-led Elisha Water Project. He further expressed his dissatisfaction over the unwarranted slow pace of the ongoing project. Honorable Ware said the House will no longer condone any form of contract executed haphazardly, saying it is the duty of the second arms of government to beam satellite any project that public funds were committed. He then warned that if the affected parties fail to appear before the House, the law will take its course. In the meantime, the lawmaker passed into law Osun Newtown and Growth Development Authority B 2022, while Osun State Standardization for Car Wash Services B 2022 equally said through the first readings. In another development, members of the legislative arm of government also confirmed the nominees of Governor Adeboyega Oyetola as members of Osun State Judiciary Service Commission. The confirmation came after the Deputy Speaker, Honorable Olufemi Popola, submitted the committee's report of the nominees. Osun State House Assembly also confirmed Alhaji Kolapo Maruf as the Auditor General of the state, just as the House of Assembly, however, summoned the Accountant General of the state and the directors in charge of finances. Oluwatosin Oladunkun, Osbc News.
The Director General of Osun State Broadcasting Corporation, Mr. Rashid Folaromi, has pledged the commitment of the media outfit to discharging its duties in line with the purpose of its existence. Mr. Folaromi stated this at the annual public lecture and pep talk of the Department of Administration and Supply of Osbc, held at the open-air studio of the media complex. Olaide Adegbinro now reports.
The open-air studio Iliawe Okebale Oshogbo played host to international consultants, stakeholders, and royal father, who all converged for the 3-in-1 annual public lectures, pep talks, and award presentation of the Administration and Supplies Department of Osun State Broadcasting Corporation. The program, ninth of its kind, was aimed at sensitizing the public on health and safety in the workplace and at home. In his welcome address to Director General of Osun State Broadcasting Corporation conglomerates, Mr. Rashid Folaromi enjoined staffers of the corporation to take cognizance of health and safety around them. Mr. Folaromi urged the law enforcement agencies to also put all hands on deck regarding security challenges going on in the country presently.
Health is wealth, and we all know that people, whatever you have, whatever amount of money you have, no matter how rich you are, you are lacking in earth. Every other thing is of less concern to you.
In his lecture An international consultant who doubles as the guest lecturer, Prince Albert Adeyemi, who gave tips on safety and health, said that most things are caused by ignorance, negligence. Prince Adeyemi stressed the need for people to take their common care very important.
Identify the customer health and safety officer, so he or she know who to report it and safety issue to. Familiarize him or herself with the customer fire drill, emergency nesting, location of fire alarm, and extinguishers, so that the guard on duty, staff on duty, guard on duty.
While delivering his lecture, HOD NSCDC training, DSC Oluwasegun Lala urged people to always take responsibility for personal safety, be at alert all time, and always obey law enforcement agencies' instruction. In his address, the director of Osun State Fire Service, represented by the State Fire Service Admin Officer, Mr. Fatai Aremu, said people should be very conscious as we approach Harmattan season. Mr. Aremu maintained that human factor is one of the main reasons that causes fire outbreak. In their separate lectures, as security experts, Mr. Ben Akinlade and Engineer Sheun Awoyomi both urged everyone to always make first aid kits readily available and be conscious while in public transport. In his vote of thanks, the host of the program, who is also the Director of Administration and Supplies Department, Mr. Ipiwale Alao, commended the efforts of members of the annual lecture committee. Mr. Alao also appreciated all management and staff of OSBC. The program climaxed with award presentation to dignitaries and some workers of the corporation. For OSBC News, this is Olaide Adegbero.
The National Agency for the Control of AIDS says 1,619,133 out of the 1.9 million Nigerians living with human immunodeficiency virus are now on treatment. Director General of NACA, Dr. Gambo Aliyu, made this known at a press briefing today in Abuja in commemoration of the World AIDS Day theme, Equalize the End of AIDS, Equal Access to Treatment and Prevention Services. Dr. Aliyu said this year's World AIDS Day seeks to promote equal access across the population that is marginalized among vulnerable and key affected population groups by removing economic, social, cultural, and legal barriers to HIV prevention services across population groups that are vulnerable to HIV. The WAD is celebrated every December 1 annually to raise awareness, commemorate those who have passed on, and celebrate victories such as increased access to treatment and prevention services. Dr. Aliyu pointed out that the launch of the 62 billion naira trust fund for Nigeria constitutes a further step towards sustained country-level funding and ownership of the national response. You're welcome to our commercial segment.
A peak protein breakfast gets me to a great day. How do I know? Because my daddy goes through his work feeling good and always with a smile. Mommy is always filled with confidence. My sister is always in tune. And for me, learning new things becomes absolute fun. Because all day and every day, the peak goes on.
Start your day with a peak protein breakfast. Peak. Reach for your peak.
Welcome back. We now go to our sports segments. Action continues today in Qatar as countries trade tackles. Omotayo Adebodu bring update of matches at the ongoing World Cup in Qatar.
Nothing could separate Uruguay and South Korea in their World Cup opener in Group H, despite plenty of attacking qualities on show in Qatar. In front of a vibrant crowd at the Education City Stadium, the South Korean frustrated Uruguay but did not create many clear-cut opportunities. Meanwhile, Switzerland's Bril Embolo scored the only goal against Cameroon, the country of his birth, in a hard-fought World Cup Group G opener. Embolo refused to celebrate when he finished off a sleek Swiss attack shortly after halftime. The indomitable Lions were unfortunate to lose after an enterprising display at the Al Janoub Stadium in Qatar. Victory was vital for Switzerland as both sides still have to face Brazil in the group. In the meantime, Aston Villa will look to bring Paul Onuachu to the Premier League during the January transfer window. Onuachu is expected to be in news again when the transfer window reopens in the winter. The Nigerian international has hogged the headlines over the years as a result of his goal-scoring prowess for Belgium Pro League outfit KRC Genk. Onuachu scored 33 goals in 38 league appearances for Belgian side Genk 2 seasons ago. The forward was also the club's top scorer last term with 21 goals in 35 league outings. This season, he has already registered 13 goals in 14 league appearances. And according to reports, Aston Villa have strong interest in Onuachu. The Midland club are looking to add more fire prowess to their attack, despite new manager Unai Emery having Oli Watkins and Danny Ings at his disposal. Aston Villa are also tracking Onuachu's international teammate Samuel Chukwueze or Montayo Adebodun. OSBC News.
An attack took place in Lake Chad area, a vast martial region shared by Chad, Niger Republic, Cameroon and Nigeria, where soldiers were killed and others wounded. While in Vietnam, soldiers from the Ministry of Public Security have broken up an online gambling ring. Tafikat Abdulakim has the details of this and more from our foreign desk.
The presidential office said around 10 soldiers were killed and others wounded when jihadists attacked an army position in the western part of the country. The attack took place near Mbroha in the Lake Chad area, a vast marshy region shared by Chad, Niger, Cameroon and Nigeria that has been battered by Boko Haram and the Islamic State West Africa province. Presidential spokesman Bra Mahamat said the unit has been sent to help set up an advanced position on Boko Tolorom Highland when it was attacked by elements from the Boko Haram-scared Chadian authorities, roughly referred to jihadists as Boko Haram, regardless of their affiliation. The 10 also dead and the wounded are members of the defense forces. The problems in Lake Chad stem from an insurgency launched by Boko Haram in northeastern Nigeria 13 years ago that has killed more than 40,000 people there and displaced around 2 million in 2014. Boko Haram seized islands in the marshland and began using them as buttholes. In 2020, most of these islands were taken over by ISWAP, which had split from Boko Haram. Vast semi-desert African country has been ruled since April 2021 by General Muhammad Idris Deby Itno, aged 38. He took over after his father, President Idris Deby Itno, who ruled with an iron fist for 30 years, died during an operation against rebels in the north of the country. Meanwhile, Vietnam's police have smashed a huge online betting ring worth around $1.2 billion, state media and officials said, as the government cracked down on illegal gambling during the World Cup. 12 people have been arrested across southern Vietnam, including in the business capital, Ho Chi Minh City. The server for the gambling website was based in Cambodia. The raid was part of a central effort to curb illegal gambling, especially when the World Cup is on. Vietnam's communist government has started losing its grip on domestic gambling, allowing Vietnamese to bet in casinos and opening up some sports betting. Online gambling remains banned, but lucrative illegal operations have mushroomed, prompting the crackdown during the World Cup period and ahead of the traditional Lunar New Year festival. Gamblers deposited cash into banks in exchange for virtual currency or handed over cash to agents within the network. Taufikat Abdullah Hakim, OSBC News.
That ends the major report on OSBC TV. It was edited by Kayode Adebayo. Babatunde Bolatito is my name. Good night.